Hey guys, TechieKHD here again with another video, and today I have my comparison on the real-world differences between the iPhone 5 as well as the iPhone 5S. Now, for those of you who follow me on other social media, you will know that I recently switched from an iPhone 5C to an iPhone 5S, and this is my iPhone 5S. It is the space gray 16GB international factory unlocked version. I did pick it up for an equivalent of about $900. And again, yes, I did get in the space gray color. I was contemplating between getting this in the gold or the space gray, but I had really fallen in love with having a black digitizer on the front from using my iPhone 5C, and I really am enjoying the space gray color on my iPhone 5S. Now, in addition, I had also used an iPhone 5 in the past, and I like the white digitizer, but I think that the black one looks a lot smoother and slicker, especially when the screen is off, as you can tell, because it looks almost like it's just a flat panel of black glass until you press the home button where the screen pops up to life, and I think it looks really cool. And overall, it's pretty aesthetically pleasing. I like it, and that's one of the reasons I went with the black version instead of another one. Now, getting on to the point of the video, these are my real-world differences between the iPhone 5S as well as the iPhone 5. Now, the iPhone 5S in the video is mine. The white iPhone 5 on the right side is my mom's. And they are, I mean, they're fairly similar in terms of weight. The bodies are exactly the same. They're both made of exactly the same materials. It's anodized aluminum on the back as well as a glass panel on the top and bottom, along with a glass digitizer on the front. This one has a crystal clear screen protector on it. This one has an anti-fingerprint matte screen protector on it. But besides for that, and there are no actually any other additional installs or anything like that onto the phone. Now, at the back, as you guys can tell, the iPhone 5S does have the True Tone flash, as Apple likes to call it. You can tell on the video here, this has an amber LED as well as a white LED, and on the iPhone 5 it is a single white LED. Now, in real life usage, I tend to see not a very big difference in using the flash as compared to not using the flash, or as compared to using the True Tone flash. So if I take a picture here, for example, right now it wasn't using the flash, but I'm going to turn on the flash and show you guys a picture that I'm going to take underneath my desk because there's a bunch of cables there. So, I mean, flashes either way are not really that great. I don't think I actually took the picture here on the 5S. But if you do have to use the flash, I mean, the color representation on the phone with the True Tone flash is ever so slightly better, but if you can, I don't know how well you can tell on video through the screens, but you can see that there's more, it's more contrasty on the 5S. It looks a little bit more true to life, whereas on the 5 it's just kind of overexposed and the white balance is kind of off. This one is a lot more accurate in terms of the wood color as well as the green paint on the wall, unlike this on the right side. On the iPhone 5. So again, it's a substantial difference. It's not something I would say is worth the upgrade. But one of the things that I would say is definitely worth the upgrade is the actual camera quality. Now, the camera on the iPhone 5 as well as on the 5S are both 8 megapixel sensors, but what they've done on the iPhone 5 is actually increase the size of each one of those pixels, or on the 5S rather. And the camera is definitely a huge bump up. Now, it's not something that I've seen before, like when I came from the iPhone 4 to the 4S, for example. They both seemed very similar to me. I didn't really see that much of a difference, and I didn't really think I would see something like that over here on both iPhones. But there is really a massive difference in terms of the camera quality. The sensor on the iPhone 5S is just simply amazing. I think it takes really detailed, true to life life, crisp photographs, and overall just completely blows the iPhone 5 out of the water. And that's saying something because the iPhone 5 has an amazing camera on it. It's not a bad camera by any means. I just think that the camera on the iPhone 5s is definitely better. Again, I don't know how well you can tell on video, but it is a lot truer to life. And again, that's saying something because the iPhone 5 has been renowned as having one of the nicest cameras on a cell phone for quite a while. It's been the benchmark essentially for a lot of phones to compare against. Now, in terms of speed on the devices, again, you're not really going to notice too much of a difference unless you actually stack them up side by side, as I'm trying to show you guys here. So I'm going to open up a couple applications. I don't know how many similar applications I have here. I'm going to empty both or all the applications out of the task switcher over here on both devices, so it's more of a fair comparison. Now I'm just going to take the phones out of this. Okay, here we go. So it's going to open up directly into the phone application, where if I open it up, now you can see that this one actually, or the iPhone 5s on the left, actually had to or seemed like the page or the application screen was actually preloaded even as the application zoomed out onto the screen, and the iPhone 5 was just ever so slightly slower. It's really not something you're going to notice in day-to-day usage until you actually put these two phones right up next to each other. Now I'm going to do a quick speed test to show you guys what the speeds are like on both phones. Now, I don't think there's too much of a big difference here, and I am using the speedtest.net application by Ookla. I just downloaded it onto the iPhone 5. Now, both of these phones are on airplane mode, as you can see, so there's no cellular interference, and both of them are on airplane mode with the exception of having Wi-Fi enabled on both. Also, I am on a 4 megabyte or megabit per second download internet connection, and I generally get around 4.2, almost up to 5 megabits. So let's actually begin the test at the same time, even though it doesn't really make a difference of when you start them, as long as you get the results right at the end. So I'm going to begin the test on both of them. It says preparing, and this is where it's going to do the ping differences, I believe. Now, even from first impressions, as you guys can see, the iPhone 5s seems a little bit smoother in terms of animations, and strangely enough, it is actually showing a slower download speed, which is really strange. I mean, none of them have any cases on or anything like that. The upload speeds are kind of in the same area again. So this is surprising to me in terms of download, because when I conducted this test before, the iPhone 5 seemed to score higher almost every single time, if not the same as the iPhone 5. So I'm just going to run the test again super quick and see if this is a result that continues on. So as you guys can see here, I'm getting a higher score on the iPhone 5s now, but again, it's not a very big difference. It's not something that you're going to notice again day-to-day usage. Loading pages on Safari and loading up HD YouTube videos in 720p, again, shouldn't be a problem on either device. Everything is just a little bit snappier on the iPhone 5s, but it's not a major departure from the iPhone 5, again, until you stack both of these phones up right next to each other. Now, in terms of day-to-day usage, in terms of call quality, again, this is very, very similar. I have noticed that calls sound a little bit crisper on the iPhone 5s. I've called the same people using the same phones from the same areas where I tested either phone, and I haven't had any dropped calls from either phones, and that is saying something because my house has really, really bad signal. But besides for that, I mean, the call quality sounds similar, but the iPhone 5s, in my opinion, and this may just be because it's a newer phone and I kind of think like that, but I believe that the iPhone 5s has slightly better call quality. Again, don't quote me on this. This may just be because it's a new phone, and that may just be like my preconception thinking that newer is better. I don't believe so, but it's possible. Now, again, in terms of construction, these phones are both very, very well constructed. They're both essentially the same hardware design, as you can see, except for the iPhone 5s here. I mean, it's in a different color. The aluminum feels great all over. The holes are in the same place, or the screws. They both use the Apple Lightning connector. The volume buttons and the silent switch are in the exact same position, unlike the iPhone 4 to the 4S, where it was a little bit of a difference, which was kind of difficult for case manufacturers to work out for both of the devices to get a case to fit them both. At the back, there's a very slight difference here in that shows that since Apple is using the Helvetica New font, ultralight edition on iOS 7, on their newer devices, including the iPhone 5C, as you can tell, the text iPhone is a little bit thinner on the iPhone 5S as opposed to the iPhone 5, where it's just a little bit bolder, and this kind of carries throughout the operating system. Now, that's on iOS 6 to iOS 7. iOS 7, as you can see here on my mom's phones, she just has a little trouble reading, so she has bold enabled, but otherwise the font is exactly the same as on the iPhone 5. Now, besides for that, one of the main differences also lies in the front of the device, because the iPhone 5S has a fingerprint scanner, which Apple likes to call Touch ID, where the iPhone 5 doesn't have anything like that. Now, again, I thought this was a gimmicky feature, but ever since I've been using it, I think that it's pretty useful, actually. You can actually use it to validate purchases on iTunes, and that's pretty interesting to me. So basically what you do is register a finger and just hold it over the fingerprint scanner for a fraction of a second, essentially, and it unlocks your device. And after using this for a while, it gets really hard to go back to not having one, but if you haven't used it, then it isn't really a big deal just sliding to unlock your device. It's not a huge time saver. I think it's just a cool feature to have. It's something you're going to show off to your friends a couple of times and then maybe forget about it, but it's something that after you get used to, you're not really going to be able to live without. Now, essentially, guys, that does about conclude this video. I mean, there are not too many differences between both of these devices. They're both great devices, and if you can still pick up the iPhone 5, I would definitely recommend it over the iPhone 5C, simply because of its more premium feeling build quality in the hand. It's thinner, it's lighter, and it kind of looks like the iPhone 5S, so you may just be able to fool some of your friends if you kind of want to go that way. Either way, I would really appreciate a like on this video if you guys did enjoy it, and if you think that you have a couple friends or anybody like that who would like to see a video like this if they're deciding whether the upgrade is worth it or something like that, please do remember to like and share the video along your social networks, or email it to your friends or whatever, so that they can also take a look at the video. Now again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, do remember to leave a like, and for more videos like these as well as other unboxings, reviews, tutorials, and much more, please do remember to subscribe. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.